Well, working on this old Remington SL-7 here. This was one of my grandfather's saws. It was sitting for quite a while. Now I've already kind of been working on this, so I've already tore a bunch of the parts off of it. I wasn't going to do a video of me working on it, and then I changed my mind, so here I am now. But hasn't ran probably a good 20 years. It's in pretty bad shape mechanically. In fact, it's really bad shape cylinder. It actually has been either blown up or half burnt up at one point, or at least not too good anyway. It's kind of hard to see. There's some scoring on the cylinder there. I don't know if you can see that. But so the story is on this. Far as much as I know of the story anyway. This is my grandfather's, and I don't know if it burnt up on him or just got wore out. I'm not exactly sure what happened. And I remember him telling the story about it years ago, but it was so long ago I don't remember now. But the little things I found, I've kind of put this story together, sort of. So in the late 90s, I guess he took it to a shop because we found like this receipt paper tag thing. He took it to a shop to have it worked on, and it was like taken in, and it was we actually found the tag that must have been on the saw at the shop, and it had been tagged as no compression. So and then found another paper receipt or something stating that it could not be repaired due to unavailable parts, or basically they couldn't repair it. And I remember my grandfather saying that he had taken it to a shop and they couldn't fix it, or they couldn't find parts for it or something. Or they said it was too old. So basically he somehow did his own research and found piston rings for it. And so he rebuilt it new piston rings. So I'm sure there's some scoring on the piston, so I'm sure the cylinder's actually scored, but apparently he put it back together and it ran. I know he said it ran. He said it was hard to start, but it ran. Now, the grandfather told me that when he was putting the rings on, and this was years ago, and he told me that he had broke one of the rings trying to put them on. So there's supposed to be 3 rings there, and there's only 2. So I remembered him telling me that, and I, of course, just verified it. My memory was correct. So basically, the saw has probably got a scored cylinder, and it's only got 2 out of 3 piston rings on it. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see if we can even get it up and running. It did have some compression, but then again it had some oil. It has like some oil in the cylinder too, so I don't know. Not going to put a whole lot of hope in this being a really great running saw, but I just want to see if I can get it going. I do have a bar for it, and there's a tree I would like to cut up with the saw, a large tree, and we will, if I can get it running, you'll see that in a future video. So it does have some kind of compression, but right now the reason I've got it tore apart this far is it doesn't have spark. So I'm gonna take the flywheel off and take a look at the points and see if we can. Hopefully the points just need to be cleaned or something. Parts for these are pretty much impossible to find. On eBay right now, like the only thing you can find for them is like the oiler lines or something. There's really nowhere to be found from the research I've done so far of any parts for these, and the hope of finding another cylinder is pretty much impossible at this point, except for if I could ever find another parts saw, or somebody has a new old stock one stored away somewhere and eventually it'll show up on eBay. But as of right now, it doesn't look too hopeful. The smaller versions of this saw, there's a lot of parts for those, but this here is just not. Parts are just unobtainable. So we kind of have to work with what we have on it. At the very least, I want to at least clean it up and we have a nice shelf piece anyway. But I think I could at least get it running where I could at least start it and use it a little bit. I'd like to anyway, because I've always wanted to see it running. But from my memory anyway, I never seen this saw running. So there's the cover for it down there. It is 95cc saw, and that recoil was all seized up, and I lubed it up and got the spring working on it again. Let's see, the oil button was stuck, and now that I had to pull this out and soak it, penetrating oil, now it works. Somewhere around here there's the cover. Here's the cover there. Automatic oiler, and it has the manual override there. So well, flywheel's off. I guess we'll investigate a little bit further. Alright, cleaned up the points, we gapped them. Hopefully it all will work. I should have a washer with that. I'm gonna have to find it. I think we're going to call that good, I think. Well, we've got spark. Okay, we got spark. I did have to pull this off again because I had it on wrong. Yeah, there's a certain way it goes on there. I can't show you now, but it yeah. There's these little pin things, and I was trying to line them up in the holes where the bolts go over the puller, and that's not where they go. They actually go offset from that. Anyway, it's on there now, and we got good spark. So, well, we're on our way. Okay, well, we're back. It's the next day now. So I have discovered another problem with this saw. Some of you may have already caught on to this. I don't know. Ones that know more than me. So I was watching some videos, and somebody commented on something, and I researched it. So basically, this saw has a problem with the automatic oiler on it. As far as I can tell, anyway. Well, the automatic oiler is sort of working, but I guess so. On these saws, the automatic oiler on these run off of a vacuum, like pulses from the cylinder. So there's actually like a line connected to the cylinder from the oil pump, the oil tank. I'm really doing a bad job of describing this, but so basically there's like a check valve, a rubber like check valve thing. They call it like a duckbill valve. It's a little, like, I've seen pictures of them online. They're a little rubber. Well, anyway, and those deteriorate and they don't function properly, and then you basically suck oil, your bar oil, up into the combustion chamber, which is kind of weird to me, but it's kind of funny at the same time, but also unfortunate because I believe the saw has that problem. So of course getting parts for these is nearly impossible, but supposedly there's different other ones, parts from other, like, home lights or something you can fit on these, but for the time being I just want to see if I can get the saw running. So that's why I have all this oil here, because I was trying to figure out, as I turned it, I was like, more and more kept showing up, and I'm like, I kind of, like, looked at the oil, and I kind of, like, smelt it, I was like, this seems like the oil that's in the, this seems like the oil that's in the tank for the bar oil. I was like, well, that's impossible for bar oil to get in there. Well, actually it is, so, so that's interesting. I don't know if I can either repair it or possibly bypass it and just run manual oiler. I mean, this saw, I don't really plan, it's not really going to be used too much, except for maybe if I can get it running. There's one particular tree I want to cut up with it, but and otherwise it probably would only be used occasionally. So if it only had a manual oiler, that would be fine with me, if I can bypass it, but that'll be later to find out, I guess. I don't think I'm going to mess with that right now. I think I'm just going to dump all the oil out of it. It's already got a bunch in there, so it's going to have to, it'll probably smoke all that out. I'm not going to put the bar on it when I start it anyway right now. So basically I just want to see if this thing is going to run. Now, of course, with all that oil in the cylinder, that's probably why it has compression. So without all that oil in there, once it gets all burnt out, it may not have hardly any compression. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to get to reassembling this, and we'll try and start it. ready to go. Well, okay, we're gonna attempt to start it. No clue if it'll run right, or I emptied out all the bar oil. Hopefully it won't suck too much up in there. Probably smoke like crazy. Even if it even runs, it may not even run. I don't know. Don't know if it'll pick up fuel or anything. I tried to do something. Yeah. I smell fuel. Something burning. Try to do something. What? Take the choke off. Try. Probably full of oil in there now. Well, it runs.